What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TNC Reacts. Today, we're going to be talking about an add-on to the first part of what I did earlier, talking about, America is cooked. Now, I have been listening online, and I am already exhausted by the selective outrage. Now, what I mean by selective outrage is that some people have never even heard of this guy, and they are losing their minds, whatever rhetoric they got. Whether they're backing him, whether they're hating him, whatever the case may be. I gave my thoughts on it on the first part. I don't believe anybody is meant to go. Now, I will also show you why people don't care that he's gone because of certain rhetoric he used. Whether it was, and a lot of it, some of it is not educated in the response. So let me play this so you can get an understanding of what I'm talking about.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. This is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course. That's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies that turn me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people, honestly, through our pop.
So, let me reiterate what he said. Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal a white person's slot. Now, with that being said, you can see why people don't care. You can't insult people and act as if a particular policy was put in place because of the fact that people were not allowed in. You understand? It wasn't that they didn't have the brain processing power. They were capable of it. That's why she graduated. If she just needed to get through the door because they weren't allowing it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the problem is that they seem to forget that there was discrimination that had to make this happen. But then you flip it with ignorance and BS to make it sound like people are being robbed of something. When for a long time, y'all were getting the benefit of the doubt. Oh man, yeah, you can just come in. Yeah, you're automatically smart because you look like this. They're automatically dumb because they look like this. And to sit there and try to downplay it and act as if said individual wasn't qualified is bull. And that's why you can see people don't like said individual. Does that mean that he needs to go? No. But we also have to be honest that he wasn't a great person. Now, there's another post that I have that was actually pretty cool because this actually brings up the case of what we deal with right now, which is selective outrage, right? And what I mean by selective outrage is purely based off of what we choose to be upset about because the media tells us to. This was written by someone, and I thought it was pretty cool. It's by A Mighty Girl. It says, today's fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University comes just 3 months after Minnesota House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman was assassinated in her home. Two leaders from different parties and opposing ideological perspectives, both silenced by acts of political violence. Kirk, the 31-year-old founder of Turning Point USA, was shot and killed while speaking at an event in Orem, Utah, while Hortman, a 55-year-old Democratic leader of the Minnesota House, was assassinated alongside her husband Mark in a politically motivated attack by a far-right extremist on June 14th. The fatal shootings of Hortman and Kirk, a legislative leader and a political activist, are a stark reminder of how dangerous extremism and political animosity can become when left unchecked. Now, she wrote plenty of more, and y'all probably wouldn't listen past this point. But what I will say is that I didn't see anything about this lady. I didn't even know who she was. And the reason being because people weren't promoting it. They weren't putting it out there. Hey, this happened. Why? Because they didn't care about her. It's a narrative push that we have to start understanding. And I'm sorry. I can say I don't agree with somebody. I'm sad, that person got murked off and all of that stuff. But does that mean I have to like them? No. Does that mean I'm bowing down to him? No. Doesn't mean I'm kissing butt? No. At the end of the day, I didn't like the guy. I had no reason to like him because of based off his rhetoric. But that doesn't mean that he's still not a human being. That's all I'm saying. Just like that lady, the Democratic leader. She gets murked off. I can guarantee you I probably didn't agree with a lot of stuff she said, but would I say, yeah, she deserved that? No. We got to start being realistic. Until we can find some middle ground on some stuff, we ain't never going to make it past nowhere. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments section, and be on the lookout for more videos. All right, everybody? Peace.